Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hello and a very good evening to you. You know, when it's Tuesday, I am always delighted because I get the opportunity to visit you in your homes. This is Love at Home. I am Efia Sewa Mansa. Today is another blessed day, and today we want to discuss marriage and technology. I'm sure you are wondering why we are talking about technology. You know, technology is very, very good, but in today's marriages, it is helping at the same time worsening people's situations. This is the reason why we want to discuss and see how we can use technology to help in our marriages. Let's go for a quick break. And when we come back, I will introduce you to my guest for the day. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hope Channel is my favorite Christian channel. The best thing about this is that you can have it everywhere you go. All you need to do is to download the Hope Channel app on your Play Store or Apple Store and get all the programs you want to watch.
Hello guys, I welcome you all to Gospel 101 TV show. My name is Selassie Evelyn and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this uplifting journey into the heart of gospel music and inspiration. What you made ye yet de ekuko down. Get ready for a television show that will challenge, uplift, and remind you of the incredible power of God. The show will say, yet the life-changing stories.
We are not going to marry when we go to heaven. It is very true. But if we are not careful, our bonding is heaven.
Good music videos. So tell a friend to tell another friend, say, Gospel 101 Jumedieno has come. It is not just a show, it is going to be an experience.
Gospel 101, showing this and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Hope TV.
Thank you so much for not leaving us. This is Love at Home on Hope Channel Ghana, and thank you so much. We are blessed to come into your homes again. We are discussing technology and marriage. I guess it's very important that we talk and discuss this issue. To help me do this discussion, on my far left, I have a very beautiful woman. He looks so Ghanaian. Yes, so African. She's Mrs. Charity Agri. She is a banker, a wife, a mother, and everything. Mrs. Agri,
yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
And your day?
By His grace.
You look very good
well.
in this your outfit.
Thank you. Thank you.
No pressure at work, I guess.
No.
To God be the glory.
Amen.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you too.
And to my very immediate left, I have a very handsome man. Dr. Freeman, Emmanuel Freeman. Doc. How are you?
I'm fine.
Doc, what exactly do you do?
Well,
I want you to say it yourself.
I do a lot, but I am a university lecturer.
Okay.
And the head of department for the computer science unit at the Ghana Communication Technology University.
Oh, okay.
I'm also an elder of the church at the Southwest Ghana Conference.
Okay.
So I blend most often a lot of religious activities together with my academic journey.
That's nice.
I'm an author, a researcher,
So you're everything some.
Computing.
He's also a husband and a father. So thank you so much, my guests, for joining us. And you out there, you are welcome. Tell your friends that time has so it is time. Let's sit by our set, by Facebook, on YouTube, all the social media handles, and let's listen or learn one or two things to help our relationships. Now, let me start from you, Mrs. Agri.
Yes.
We've been talking about technology. Technology, what is it at all?
Technology has become a necessary devil. So it's like a household name now.
Okay.
It is using scientific procedures for our day-to-day activities,
Okay.
with the use of devices.
Okay.
So basically, to the layman, let me put it that way, that is how I would describe technology. Yes.
Doctor,
Yeah.
it is your baby.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, okay, so what is technology then?
Well, when we talk of technology, we are making reference to the use of digital devices to aid in our routine activities, in our jobs, whatever activity that you do. That integration of digital presence in it makes it autonomous and more or less tech-driven.
Okay.
Okay, so there have been a lot of revolution with this whole lifestyle that we find ourselves. Of course, if we compare our lifestyle from the times of Eden, from Genesis 1 to our time, you can see that there have been a vast, huge divide in terms of the use of technology. But those times, there was some use of a smart way of doing things. Okay. And in that context, it's also defined as a technology. So any means created to harness the way we do our things, the way we work, and the way we act to enhance whatever we do for productivity or means of enhancing our livelihood. We can define it as technology.
So then what are some of the things we are talking about?
Okay, so we have to trace it back. There have been a lot of revolution in the digital space, where we had the first industrial revolution, where we turned out to use most of the physical electronic devices to enhance some of the things. We had the second industrial revolution, where we started to use machinery to enhance our operations. So we have like the farm machines and the likes. We had the third industrial revolution, where we started to do the industrialization hub. Thankfully to Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, we had this Akosombo Dam, among other revolutions. Yeah. But where we find ourselves now is in the fourth industrial revolution, where the use of smart technologies, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other smart ways, robotics and others, to enhance the way we do things. So that is where we find ourselves. Advanced countries have even moved on towards the fifth industrial revolution, the advanced phase of technology.
We are the fourth one, and we are still confused.
Yeah, we are trying to, bridge the gap in our sub-region, but I think we are getting closer with the earnest research and development in most industries. The fourth industrial revolution is taking shape gradually.
Okay, we shall get there one day.
Sure.
Now, Mrs. Agri, I want to know, how has technology influenced the way couples communicate?
Okay. As I mentioned earlier, technology now is a necessary devil. We need it. Yet, if we do not use it very well, it will cause chaos in the home. Now, couples use technology in the home because it helps in our day-to-day activities. It helps in our communication and other things. But the over-reliance of it creates a lot of problems in the home. How does it help? It helps because, most especially with distance relationships.
Okay.
And you know, with couples, we cannot be at the same point at all times.
Yeah.
It helps to build the family bond even when we are not together.
Together, yeah.
Yes. It helps aid in communication between couples.
Yeah.
But notwithstanding that, over-reliance on the technology in our communication can also create some distance
Okay.
in the home.
All right.
Being that it's there have been situations where when you go to the home, we expect to spend quality time together, but you see everybody glued to his or her screen. That is one. There are a lot of advantages and disadvantages to it, but if you do not manage it very well, it would create chaos in the home.
Yeah.
There's another problem in relationship too when it comes to technology, which has to do with authenticity.
All right.
Authenticity, because a person interacting online cannot reveal his or her true self.
That is true.
And you know, with in our communication, we usually use some non-verbal signs to communicate. Now, when you are communicating online, it is not easy to use those non-verbal signs to communicate. It might therefore end up there might therefore be misunderstandings and miscommunications.
Okay.
Especially, let's say, body language,
Yeah.
the tone of your voice, all are forms of communication.
Yeah.
But if it is an online something, it is difficult using that type of communication.
Okay.
There is also the issue of trust and security.
Okay.
Everybody can tap into whatever you are doing.
Ah.
You don't have that trust, you don't have that security, privacy, you don't have it there. So it is good we use it, but let's be cautious not to over-rely on it in order to help in our relationship.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Mrs. Agri has said so many things over reliance. He's talking about security. He's talking about privacy, and then all that. That it is not helping people to get the face-to-face interactions, even though they may be at home. Maybe he's mentioned so much of the negatives, but we'll come to the. But to you, what do you think are some of the positive ones that helps us?
Sure. Where we find ourselves now in our current dispensation, you can never do away with technology.
You mean there's nothing we can do?
Not
We can't
at
do
all.
anything about
It's
it.
either you
move along
with it, or you be obsolete, or you be neglected. Automatically, society will
neglect you.
Yes. For example, we send
leave
you,
you
we
behind.
need you just a quick response. Then it's like, I don't have any device to respond. Even common text message on Yam. Yam, and you cannot respond. You are left. We need an information. You left an important document in the house, and there's no smartphone, there's no phone, whatever means to communicate. So where we find ourselves now, we cannot do away with technology. Okay. Whether it is smart or it is not smart, whether it is digital or analog, whatsoever means, where we find ourselves, we cannot do away with technology. But back to the question, I would say that technology is so important to our routine lifestyle as couples, as married, as relationship, as a family. You cannot do away with it. In as much as it has a negative effect, the positives are very significant that we cannot do away with.
Okay.
For example, they say in our time, distance is just a statement.
Mm-hmm.
Where technology exists, there's no barrier in distance. You can connect to anybody, anywhere, anytime with your spouse, and you feel that presence. A lot of people are watching us live on Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning into Hope Channel.
It's all because of technology.
Exactly. People are watching it on Facebook, on televisions, among other social handles, all in the name of technology. It is bringing us closer than we can imagine. You can make a video call and you can see your spouse, your children, real time, and you feel that, bond. It builds up, relationship.
Hitherto, you couldn't have done that just some few years ago,
Exactly.
unless you drive or you
Exactly.
take a car to the
Yes.
place.
And you can see a lot of people whose relatives are working from remote sites. The husband is in US, the wife is in Ghana, even localized in the context of our country. The husband is working in Accra, the wife is somewhere in Kumasi, in Takrady, in my case, among several. But with technology, at least you don't lose that ties, that close tie. And the positives associated to it are enormous, as I've mentioned.
Now, let's look at the issue of social media. How does it play in shaping our perceptions of a romantic life?
Good. I'm very happy you are mentioning this. And I know a lot of people are watching this who perhaps are not Seventh-day Adventists. Generally, social media emanated from the presence of togetherness, connection, real-time communication, instant messages. I want to give a background to some people of phone, lovers. And going over the days in the late 2000s, 2002 in our country, connection was very tight. I remember to get on a SIM card, you need to spend close to about 100, and those times, 100.
It was 1 million.
1
They were calling 1
million.
million. You had to go to the northern region. I got my first, my SIM, Vodafone SIM at northern region, 1 million.
1 million. And to even get a phone to use is except only few class of people.
Yeah.
So the smartest way we can do is to make phone calls or do text message, and you are able to connect. It gradually started to improve with the invention of the Nokia, phones with the Symbian OS. I don't want to go back more technical. Then BlackBerry started to come in. People are trying to relate with their instant messenger. So if I have the BlackBerry app, you can start easily.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened. They died off. Facebook was emerging in the early 2005, 2006, 2007. People started to sign up, and they could see their friends posting pictures, and people start to gain that connection. So that kind of bond started to emerge. And then WhatsApp, Tango, Skype, among other apps, started to emerge. We don't know where Viber had gone now, but what we know is WhatsApp has taken shape. TikTok has taken shape. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X now. They are all taking shape now. So it has really transformed the entire universe in a more smarter way.
Okay.
It's a hub to enhance romance. How will you feel? You wake up early in the morning, somebody who cares about you just texts, "Hello, my dear, how are you doing?" That is the first thing perhaps you have seen. How will you feel? Somebody just sent you a love emoji to say that I appreciate you. You see? Sometimes, some words in our culture, it's very difficult to say.
You are watching Love at Home. That is why it is good we talk about love.
Exactly.
So open your ears, you are talking about love and technology.
Yes. So sometimes it's very difficult to look at your face and say, "Mommy or sister, I love you."
Hey.
But you can make it so convenient.
On the phone.
Whichever way, you can make it romantic. Social media in our time is supposed to enhance, build our relationships. Check up on your family, check up on your wife, check up on your husband. Routinely, "My dear, how has your day been? Have you eaten? I'm just checking up on you. Few minutes.
So in a nutshell, you're trying to say that for those who could or who are not used to opening their mouth to tell their spouses that I love you, if you can't open your mouth to say, you can type.
Thank you.
It is a way of showing affection.
Sure.
Dog, is that not all that you are saying?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Yeah, so social media is invariably affecting
enabling us to be in all these
even
things.
love. Yeah,
Okay.
you get some nice romantic picture or emoji you can share with your partner. It looks, I'm not talking about, in quote, anything that is not morally upright, like pornography and all, but you know, things that uplift relationship, things that can connect both of you. You can easily share it where physical space might necessarily not be so needed.
Of a problem.
Yes.
You want to say something?
Yeah. Social media, as we iterated earlier, it has come to help a lot. Now, when it comes to relationships, we will all bear with me that social media embraces long-distance relationship.
Yeah.
I do not need to wait for like a month when my husband is traveled or my partner is traveled before I can communicate with him or her. It has also broadened the scope of dating.
Dating.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Initially, I need to search around, just around where I am. But now I can sit right here and search over the globe. Yeah. And also, what we should also understand is that it has created surveillance, jealousy and surveillance.
What do you mean by
Being
jealousy and
that,
surveillance?
you know, nowadays people post every step they take on social media. But what we should understand is that people post the positives. Most people post the positives and not the negatives. Now, when you post your relationship constantly on social media, someone out there might be jealous. And you know what comes with jealousy. Someone is monitoring your every step because the person knows you are here, you are in Cape Coast today, tomorrow you are in Kumasi, so you are being monitored on a daily basis. So irrespective of the fact that it has come to help, we should look out for the good aspects of it and make good use of it. Example, let's say someone posts, my husband gives me 20,000 cedis a month as chop money. You see it and you feel, yes, and you feel your husband is not up and doing.
Yes.
Be careful.
Meanwhile, it is not.
Because that might not be
the true case.
The true case.
That is true.
Yeah.
Just to add, we have what we call digital infidelity. And that is a typical instance the madam has given. We have to be content. Let me just show some small tech bits. You see the background we find ourselves. We can create it and assume that this is my living room. Once I take a picture of a very nice environment and I am on TikTok, I am on any of the digital platform, I can use that as my backdrop. And then you may assume that that is my life location. Yesterday I had a meeting with some international partners, and you know, the background that I found myself, there's a lot of noise, students that I'm all over. So I just brought in a background as though I'm in some executive lounge. So like, it will not show wherever you are, but on the digital space, you might think that I am there.
Yeah.
This guy has even traveled, but look, he's just here. Don't be deceived.
Don't be deceived.
The social media, I think all these have been mentioning the positives, but the negative repercussions on some of these things are very enormous and adversely affecting homes. I know families that are divorced because of on the grounds of social media usage.
What do you mean? How come?
Yeah, so a typical example, the lady in quote posted something on social media, matters relating to
the family,
and tried to tag a friend Facebook, when you have what you call the tagging, and try to, praise that friend. Meanwhile, when it was the birthday of the other friend, and the way this lady hyped that, in quote, that friend of the lady in question, the husband went there and said, like, look, I have never seen you even use such words for me.
For me.
On my birthdays. Look at how, what is going on between you and this man? I need to know. Then they started to share, thoughts. Start to sneak and watch each other's phone, and just to see if there are any forms of infidelity. Then the man tried to gain further insight, and even started to check the chats between that friend and the wife. And he realized that no, something is going on. Apparently, it was just a mere friendship that perhaps the lady had when the elders called, and the man said, no, because of what you have done, and because of what I know you can do, I can trust you.
Okay.
Just a post destroyed somebody's home. So don't assume that anything you see you can post. There are some 5 principles that I would love to share.
Please go
on
ahead.
social media. Anytime you want to post, you ask, why am I posting?
You mean the relevance?
The relevance. Why should you post this? Why? Then you also have to ask, what are you posting? Does it make sense? Who are your target audience? So, for example, if I'm writing something, currently those on my Facebook and other pages can follow me up and see this current post, what I'm doing here. And you can follow, because I want to catch the attention of a lot of audience to watch. There's a purpose, there's a relevance. Who are you intending to view this post? If the one you are communicating to is, for all you know, it's not even on social media, you are wasting your time. You had this grudge with somebody at work, and the next moment you came home, whatever you think you do, it's up to you. Posterity will judge you. Whatever, do unto others. Then you ask, what is going on? Meanwhile, the targeted person in this case is not even on social media, let alone on your timelines. You even check
your status
and the like. So you're even wasting your time. What are you implying? You are only communicating to the world that, hey, Jack, you yourself, you have a problem. So you can see the kind of negativity that will throw at you for just a mere post. Because your post is not meant for anybody. Exactly. It has no meaning. The relevance is not so of importance. So why do you have to post? So you always have to post for a mere reason, and there should be a targeted audience to which you want to post.
And to add a last one, it also helps to strengthen existing relationships. Because when you go on to the social media, nowadays people don't even go for counseling. There are virtual counsels on the social media you can easily hook up to. There are apps that helps give tips on how to build on your relationship. So when you go onto the social media, just not the negatives, but you can also use the social media to help to build your existing relationship.
Okay. Now, so talking about using social media to build existing relationship, I want to know what are some of the things that we can do to build these relationships using these technologies. Doug mentioned the fact that you could do text messaging, WhatsApping, video. Are there other things that we can use?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of sites and apps that you can use to build your relationship.
Okay.
When you go onto the social media, you look for the positives that would help in your relationship. You want to build a healthy marriage. You want to build a healthy relationship. So you would need to visit sites, and you would need to discipline yourself.
Discipline.
Discipline yourself.
Okay.
You should have time when to visit and when not to visit. And you should stick by it. That is what I mean by discipline.
Discipline.
Someone might, somebody's routine might be that maybe from morning, let's say from 8 to like 9, I would check my social media, I would do this. You should be able to stick by it. Now, in doing this, you are not supposed to do it alone. You're supposed to do it with your partner, because even if you are learning some good things out there that will help your relationship, it would be good if you involve your partner to also, in order so that the communication will not be one-sided.
So that it will not be as if you've gone to learn something and you want to come and impose it on me.
Exactly.
But rather we have identified this and we are learning it together.
We are learning it together.
Okay. Right.
So we can, as he mentioned earlier, there are a lot of emojis you can send. It puts a smile on somebody's face.
That's nice.
Because let's say I am sad, then my partner sends me a love emoji. Immediately I see it, my mood will change automatically. And nowadays, social media, when you even go to YouTube and other things, there are a lot of economical activities going on there that can even help you to get some income to help the family. They are teaching a lot of how to do a lot of things as easy as you can. You should learn or do. These are some of the things that would help your family. So pick on the things that would help, and it will help you in a long way to build your relationship.
Pick on the things that will help your relationship or your marriage, so that it can always grow your marriage. Let's go for a quick break. Remember to send in your questions, contributions to 0559 680066. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned. Thank you.
What was the situation of these people that God brought them out of Israel? They could not have any rest. And here you are describing a life that you have not even lived, as though Egypt was better.
God did not call us into a world of pleasure. No. God's intention, whatever God is doing, is for your salvation.
For our salvation.
Yes. Whatever it takes that you will be saved. If it will mean that he should bring some difficulties around you so that you'll be saved, he will do it.
And the Lord said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward.
Go where?
Forward. No, but who does this? Who does this?
Exactly. I mean, the sea is right in front of the people.
And you're asking me to go.
And you are asking them to go forward. But I mean, the lesson there is, what did God want them to demonstrate?
Tell us.
That God sees what you see, and yet he says that defy the odds
and go forward.
And go forward.
Invite your friends and family, because we are going to study together from Egypt to Canaan, our Christian journey, even as we await the second coming of Jesus.
From Egypt to Canaan, the Israelites experience and its relevance to us today. Showing this and every Sunday at 5 p.m. only on Hope Channel Ghana.
Hello and welcome to Hope Channel. And of course, to your favorite program, Watch These Signs.
As long as you are not in that boundary, he will do all kinds of things to protect you so that you continue to move. There are times some things should have happened which should have crushed you to death. But because of the power of God, to give you extra more time so that you can consider the issues of eternity. From plug things
on the farm.
Verse 23.
Yes, and that was when the Pharisees came, then he made this statement. And that is the same response people give today. That the Sabbath law says, thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do this, don't touch this, don't go to market, don't. And so people use this text to tell you that even Jesus,
Hello, my lovely viewer. You're welcome back. You're watching Love at Home on Hope Channel Ghana. And thank you so much. I'm glad that you have invited your friends and you have shared a link that people should watch and also study or learn something from. So you're welcome. We are discussing technology and marriage. So please join us on the trail. Now, let me come to you. You were a woman.
Yes.
There is this notion that we have technology now, so there's no need visiting the old ways of doing things. For example, the use of blender or other smart or digitized ways of cooking as against the olden one, the potoyoa, the other forms.
Yeah.
It's really creating a problem because some men are saying that for me, I want my meko, my pepper to be from a potoyoa. If you are not doing it in a potoyoa or the earthenware pot, it means you are not a good wife. The woman is saying that, no, I need to enhance my life so that I'll be able to attend to other things. What is your take on this?
When we assess the gadgets around the home nowadays, it has made life easier for us.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
Is it not that we are becoming lazy, rather?
No.
Not at all, eh?
Let's say formally. Let's say on Sundays, I wash on Sundays. If I am to wash from morning till about 1 p.m., imagine with technology or with the gadgets I have, imagine the number of activities I can do from morning 6 to 1. Let's say I use the washing machine. When I start washing, maximum by 10, I am done. But within that period, from 6 to 10, whilst the things are in the washing machine, I can be scrubbing my washroom. I can be cooking at the same time. And in cooking, formally, you would grind in the earthenware pot. All takes time. It is not about being lazy. It's about being productive.
Okay.
Using the limited time to do a lot of things at the same time.
All right.
You know, initially, in the olden days, our mothers were usually at home. They were not working. When I say work, they were going to the farm. But nowadays, with the current economic situation, you cannot just go to the farm. You need to add something to it. In adding something to it, we have to use some gadgets that will make our life easier and faster.
Okay.
At first, even before you iron your clothing, you would need to light the charcoal, put it in the
box, that metallic box, for it to heat up.
When it overheats, then you take some out and put it off. So if you are to use like an hour to iron, during that time you use like 2 hours.
Yes.
So we shouldn't concentrate on the woman being lazy, but let's concentrate on being productive by using the minimum time that person has to do more activities.
Okay.
And that would help us.
All right. Dog, you want to add something to it?
Absolutely. I think
she nailed it.
Yes. In as much as we are also using these technologies in the house, we should also teach our children the analog way. You see, otherwise we will train this generation Z's, absolutely they wouldn't know nothing.
Yes.
Without electricity, it means there is no food. You have to eat outside.
Yeah.
That is not the best way of training. And for us, where we grew up, I grew up at Asena Sempane. Yes. By the time you will have to, you know, after school, you have to go to the farm. That is where sometimes you have to bring the food stuff that you...
The firewood and all that.
Before. So we learned these, you know, hands-on skills. We all got to know how to prepare food even as young as I was at the age of 4, I was able to prepare meal and wash, you know, my own school uniforms, wash my soul. We should be able to teach our children some of these things, in as much as these technologies are now. There are smart homes now. We call it smart homes.
Yeah.
Keyless homes. You don't need a key. You just need a facial recognition. You enter. If you're a criminal, you can't enter. If you're a foreigner, you can enter. That is smart. You know, you get to the room automatically. With the smart technologies, you can switch on your lights automatically without you pressing on. Saving energy. That is technology. We have cameras all over your house to check for criminals and also to enhance your own safety. That is technology. You enter your room, automatically the lights switch on. If you want to get, you know, warm water to bath, just a matter of pressing on your water heater or your geyser, you have warm water to bath. It's technology. The bottom line here is that we are supposed to have a seamless and, you know, well-meaning homes, not homes that will add undue pressure on the family. Gone were the days somebody will say, me, it's a waste of money to even get a blender when I can use my apotoriwa. Look, you will take 2 minutes to get your pepper, your whatever tomatoes, you know, blended. It's done. You are going to take more than 10-15 minutes. You need to prepare and go for Bible studies. Because of your grinding on the apotoriwa and the thing, you'll be late at church. You see, things are supposed to, some of these technologies are supposed to enhance our life,
you know, Doc,
but not to destroy.
What you are saying, somebody has just sent me a message asking me about the health implications. I know maybe you may not be able to answer, but you know, people have this notion that if it is from the use of, for example, blender and all these things, probably the metal will wear into the food, and so it is not healthy. So some men may have this notion, and so they will not encourage their partners to do it. And they also say that the taste also differs when you use the natural one as against the automated one.
You want to come in?
We are not disputing that.
Okay, so it is true. All right.
But have we taken our time to watch the blender, how it works? Then we wouldn't use a knife, because we use a knife in cutting. And the blender, when you look at the blade, they don't interact in any way. You know, it has a number of blades around it. And it's just like using a knife
to be
cutting things. But this one is doing it at a faster pace.
Okay. So it is the timing here.
It is the timing.
Okay.
Not the wear out or whatever.
But that is true. But some of the gadgets, like microwaves, have been proven to have posed some
rays
to the food, especially when the food is not covered.
And you're not using the right
containers and the likes. In fact, the negative aspect of these technologies on our health is also something of a whole complete topic that has
that is true. That is why I said I was not going there.
Yeah, but obviously, overusing or over-reliance of some of these things have also got its negative or health implications. For example, everybody needs a smart TV or television at home. I'm sorry if you are still using the CRT TV type.
The Tukopo one.
Yes, the category. The implications on that type of television to our eyes is very, very bad. Please, it's better to get a LCD or the LED type because the rays to which the cathode throws to the human eye is not very good. So watching the screen time on some of these devices are very dangerous to our eyes. Even on the LEDs and the LCDs and other smart televisions too, has also got other negative repercussions on our eyes, especially the screen time. And if you have children at home, the kind of music you play on some of these sets, we have home theaters and the lights. They are good. It's good to have some good tunes. But if the sound is too loud, they can affect even the brain development of these.
You mean what is the decibel?
Yes.
Yes. If it is too much, it has an effect
on a child brain development.
So you see that some of the children, when they are at your back, the moment they hear, then you start jumping like that. So they also love good things, right?
Sure.
But we are saying that we should control it.
Exactly.
The type of music we are given, because that will form their mindset as they grow.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's look at some of the strategies couples can use to strengthen their relationships.
Well, there are several technologies that we can use. I want to give this free app, and it's free, called Ovia Fertility.
Say it again.
Ovia is O-V-I-A.
O-V-I-A.
Fertility. Okay. We can try it. This particular app can help you to get your wife or the whole family get, impregnated by knowing the times, the hormonal issues of your wife, when you had the period, the fertility window. Remember, the fertility window of a woman is mostly just within the space of about 3 days, but there's just one 24-hour day, which is most fertile. The system can tell you. Ovia is a powerful tool. It can even give you the kind of food and the kind of vitamins you need to take, the type of vegetables, the type of food. Yes, Ovia is here. So these are the apps that are there. You don't, of course, you need a doctor to assist you. But this app is in itself a medic-oriented app powered by AI. So you just give few parameters of yourself, your ovulation period,
your first menstrual,
those things, your previous pregnancy experience, if not, a few things, some few information about your husband, and so it tells you. So right from the day the egg fertilized till your 9-month period, the app can tell you everything.
But you see, it is good. That is why. But last week, when we were discussing some of these things, these informations should be your biodata, your private information, but you are giving it for free out there. Okay. What is the consequence of that too?
Yeah, so we have what we call the POPIA Act, Public Privacy Identity Act. In most parts of the world, these acts are highly enforced. The kind of information you post to online platforms, there are agreements. Take your time and read it. Unfortunately, we don't read. So they will tell you, sign up to this platform will mean that whatever, do you comply? Because
we don't read. We don't read.
Please always read.
We want to get it, so I agree.
Always make sure you read that thing. It's very, very important. But I must tell you that these sites are tried and tested. Okay. And then there are other apps that can aid your home. Look at how difficult your husband perhaps could have passed through the whole day at workplace, tired, sometimes even carry some of the burdens home. Please leave them at the workplace. Come home and enjoy your homes. So what must you do? Share the link. Okay. Perhaps your wife might also be tech-driven. If your wife is not a tech person, or any member of your family, your child, or anybody, you can just share the link. If it's a document you are working on, post your document on maybe Google Doc. The link will be active. Whatever person can work on the same document. So when we come, it's still as fresh as where you left, or even much more improved. Now, AI has come to stay. We are talking about Jenny AI, ChatGPT, Hex AI. These are tools that are available at our disposal. Family, let's use them. We don't need to be so stressed up on basic things that can build our relationship. And in as much as we are using this, please set some barriers also.
Yes.
The family must try to set barriers. Somebody say, me, this is how I am. I can't change. This is the way I do my things. Before you married me, I was already on social media. So this is the way you live, and this is the way I live. Or I am tech, person. And the other person might be tech phobia. So if you're not careful, if your husband is not a tech type, or your wife is not a tech type, and you are over using some of this, if you're not careful, you can have serious consequences in your family or your marriage. Balance it. There are certain times in the day you don't need to use it, especially when you are with your husband or with your wife. Maybe you can set some boundaries to say that in our bedrooms we don't use any, device, i.e., smartphone or whatever. We are just here to talk. You put the television off. We just find very good time to communicate. In as much as we are promoting tech-driven to enhance our operations and our routine attacks as couples, we should know that the human feel, the analog type, the Genesis chapter 1:26-27 account, the bone of my bone, the flesh of my
flesh is important.
It's very important.
It's crucial.
It's very, very important. Because when God saw the need to create man in the image of him, and then created the woman as a helping mate, he did not create the woman to be suppressed. He did not also create the man to also be suppressed. He created them to cleave together, to supplement each other, to grow together, to have a harmonious home. So our home must be as little heaven. Hallelujah.
Amen.
You have to get that kind of joy, that kind of, lovely experience, that ambience that attracts, love all the time at home. Not the ones that will be fighting me, by virtue of, you saw a woman chatting with your husband and you think that you are snatched already and you start to fight.
This is like we want to add something.
To add some strategies couples can use.
Yeah.
We need to prioritize face-to-face time.
Okay.
That one has
reduce the screen time.
And then improve
the face-to-face time. If possible, let's limit social media. We need to limit it to the barest minimum in order to get more interactions at home. As couples or partners, whatever we are putting on social media, let's discuss it. It's not everything about the family that has to go out there. You need to discuss it with your partner before you put it across. Now, you also need to to plan a tech-free day for the family.
I love this one.
Yes, plan it. Let's say a Sunday. You go like today, no technology in this house. We are all going
analog.
So if it's food,
some people will cry.
We will not use blender. We use the earthen bowl.
Yes.
We would wash with our hands. Like, he mentioned teaching the children the analog ways in order to help them, so that when the lights are out, the kids will not go hungry because there's no blender to blend. So plan those days. Today is a tech-free day. We are going analog in everything. No phones. We are putting our phones aside. We are going to create our own games for the day. And I think when we do it that way, when we put in these strategies, it would help us in the long run.
Somebody sent me a message saying that the more we use this tech, the more lazy, especially our children, normally we see them. And it doesn't make them active. And that increases some of the social or life-threatening diseases like obesity, diabetes, and all that. So we should try and reduce. I received a message
that is very true.
What do you have to say on that?
Yeah, that is very true. In as much as we are promoting the use of technology, the underlying factor is blend the two. We should not be over-reliant. Even the whites who started this invention have started training their kids. Look, in as much as we are saying these things can help, if we are not careful, we will lose track of the morality and also the soft skills our children will have to, gain to grow in life. It is very important. Sometimes we have to carry the whole family and go to the village. Everybody in the city hails at least his or her route somewhere in some remote area. Find some time and go there. Now, because of technology, even children, when people come to their father's living rooms, they don't know how to welcome people. They don't. They feel like once you are home,
you are intruding.
So
it's my house. Why are you coming to my house?
What kind of life is that? And all of this has got to do with their experiences on their social media and what they are watching, the kind of the screen times that they have. Sometimes we have to bump into their phones and see what they are also interacting with. So it is very, very important. And I like the fact that of the phoneless day, for communication purposes, some people, it might be difficult. I want to highlight that some people in their home, the phone is their business. So if you marry such a person and you are not too careful, you might think that the person is overusing the technology and not, taking. But the daily life depends on the number of posts the person will have to do on Facebook or on Instagram to make sales. Cases like that, if you're a woman or you're a man, balance it.
You need to understand each other, understand the jobs we do.
Exactly. All right. And balance it.
Ms. Agri, your final word. We have just 2 minutes to go. Final advice. Then I come to Dog.
My final advice to the program is
love at home.
Love at home.
Yes.
In everything we do, let's ensure it is preceded by love. When you love your partner, you would not go on social media and post whatever interactions you have with your partner on social media without consulting. You would not be glued to your screen all the time when you are supposed to be spending quality time together. And it has a lot of health implications too. When there's another aspect